belong to an organization. I'm a member of the board of an organization that 5 years ago had a serious problem. That parallel problems that World Igbo Congress. We found ourselves about $20,000 in WIC because of issues related to the executive director. One buying who was hired is supposed to be experienced in fundraising. Was hired for a salary of $60,000 with additional 25% cost of his own. And based on his presentation, that was doable. I mean, the board saw it and said, go ahead with it. 2.5 years later, not even a penny came in. And the nature of the contract I draw with this guy, the organization owed him money. So when the organization decided to terminate him, without any money in the account, the organization owed him about half a year of his salary, which was about $30,000. It was negotiated down to $20,000. So the organization suddenly found itself in red for $20,000. You know what that did for the organization? It became an impetus for people to rally around and save the organization. And saving means providing financial strength to this organization. 5 years later, this organization went over $120,000. Okay? With this money in account, it's freed up the board to actually pursue the goal of the organization. And this organization is meeting in Nigeria today, the national organization. But its annual thing is now going to be held in Abuja in July. So coming back to World Igbo Congress, more believe that World Igbo Congress has to have a strong financial base. And with that base, we'll be free in World Igbo. And that's the preliminary concepts I make here. I'm going to kind of read it very quickly and ask for you to respond. And then I'll let you know what my goal is. The WIC is a 501c3 company, which means money you donate, you start free. We live in a wonderful country that encourages donation. We have to use the resources of the Igbo community to establish a strong financial base to World Igbo Congress so that the board, the management can be free to pursue the realization of the lofty goals that brought Igbo Congress into existence. And my objective is to establish a roadmap to make this possible. Even about finances, there were two domains of finances. One is the budget on which the executive operates. The other one is a fund that World Igbo Union should, World Igbo Congress should have, so that it forms a base for it. It can then begin to pursue whatever goes going. We don't have it now. I'm sure that it will be discussed in the past. So this is a very preliminary project to begin to address it. Like, denying the resources city in our community, how can I have a roadmap, more financial goal, use the kind of energy you articulated today. I think it's possible to do it. I believe not a proper, agreed upon roadmap that everybody will buy into. Okay? We should. There's no reason why this organization in 5 years should not have over $100,000 in account. So that you can do whatever you want to do as we pursue goals. So that's where I'm coming from. And we categories of donors that we need to look at. I don't have any monopoly to ideas. Okay? I have no monopoly of ideas. This is suggestions to begin to discuss this. The key concept, we have to have a group of individuals who will regularly and annually have the opportunity to support World Igbo Congress financially. we issue a patron, for example, one, we should be able to create patronage, or whatever name we use, of a group of people that will agree quietly, annually, between January and March, contribute some money to the World Igbo Congress. If you ask me to suggest an amount, it might be less than $1,000. Can be more. Okay? We should have an opportunity to all confer fellowship on the line, who also will quietly provide donations to the World Igbo Congress. $500, $1,000. It shall be a way to create opportunity for people who are willing to sponsor on an annual basis. It doesn't have to be every year, on an annual basis. Igbo Union sponsors various activities, and so on and so forth. So if you read this, I'm asking that you respond to it and tell me what you think. My goal, are they possible? The board should approve. The board should approve a roadmap. Okay? And with the committees, that's set a lot. Individuals, we can work with the committees and see and make things possible. We're talking about a list that can be utilized. We have affiliates already that can nominate and refer people for evaluation by the board and approval to become patrons and offer that patronage. Are they possible? Let's agree on it today so that we can start moving. And also need your help in defining what is an appropriate goal. Okay? We need to have a financial goal to pursue this. We don't want this to end it. And I think 20,000 a year to a targeted fund that is not operational fund it can easily be realized. I know people here who donate 1,000 each. I know people here who donate $500 Igbo USA. You listen to us. You waded into our issues. You gave us a roadmap to resolve it. You asked Chief Equipment and myself to lead that resolution. And that's the objective we achieved is the establishment of Igbo Union that has now taken over from Igbo USA to continue to represent Igbo and Nigerians in World Igbo Congress. So that's my presentation. I'm on, I don't know how many
that's now Okwoma anaghị ada ọsụsa because ihe anyị na-ekwu ihe a bụ na a ga-enye road map a ga-eji were make World Igbo Congress financially viable. I don't think na ọ bụ ihe a ga-abịa mebere too much discussion because onwere onye nọ here na asị na ya chọrọ ka World Igbo Congress financially viable. I mean, it's just asking a question it's not supposed to be asked. The only thing I can imagine now is given an opportunity. Once this roadmap, in other words, in principle, what about Congress may go here approve. The only thing was it was a modality like levels of like when I grow up, I would like to see whether man got to level, he didn't back on or something like that. I think that, and that gave them an opportunity to have different levels. So, as a Mare Bakalum, make Konya Pandia, you got to go. Because Adama, I needed to have a comment from Chief Igbo and Bondi. Okay. Because in Henry, I in my time here. I made this comment. This one is go taking care of. I made this comment. We meet our obligation with them and this people 1 o'clock, right? And then at the lunch, I get with 2 statements. I will have a comment from the Atlanta, and then a major presentation, keynote speech, and then after that we come back and continue. So because I'm managing our time that way. Chief Igbo.
I got me a book. Come on, Unlina, and come with one of them before. When take over from one book on the chairman, one book on the. When I got them, one book on the had no money. Come on, one refugee, Maca said, our mother there, you have one there, in the way here, why is a which was exactly the method they used to buy Biafra. So, when we organization get we only had a guardian. Remember at that time, at that time, Emirate stood here advisory committee, of which you all remember at that time, and some other people never remember to that advisory committee. That was the backbone of World War Congress during my own time, as the chairman. So if you look at more than here, always had a because Indian actually here, Indian on this guitar. What they're going through from my own experience, all the too much. You can know, like Igbo, look take a time in Kenya. Look take good. Or maybe when you're from the World War Congress, business is suffer. That's where the head gets off. Now on the record, World War Congress demanded for $10,000. Only got through the record, only got here. But the point in there, let us make it easier for those not to have the Kahana and one and I didn't support of me people, and I think we can do it. And those of us who put remember here maybe before, that support here, who's like to me, can you with support for any financial support for this organization to move forward? So we can work in support of the people and also to let each and every one of you know that all the very, very difficult, we have to do this work and also we don't have the resources. We can do what
make it short.
Because thank you very much. As I what I the Kadara can miss in the other so here was a quick na the maybe for suggestion, we have to create criteria age qualify people to be patrons, fellows, so dignified, because as a big man talk to big man. Otu nanye edino, omana nande yura won on at the same level. I again remember patron, and at this time, okwane even ejoku anyi dilanya at a particular place for a very long time. Odulanya dia letuanya back home. And I give me some of these people are patron and fellows. Habundibo. Hedi chebula no halala beke. Alabeke de kamadhega aba. Omahia. Owere Abuja. Oji beke kanyi berala America. Kena boji beke kanyi doesn't mean that we are now more superior because lying on a US carrying the cause on neighbor. Some nario say this patron might classify umi bani non Abuja non Nigeria. Jiha ego. So let us identify them with the sense of entitlement. You will give us this thing. You have been identified as one of the Igbo patrons. Ginyani this amount of money every year. So I need with the sense of entitlement. Nigeria, the big man, identify. You don't add here because there's a reason why we voted to have executive director last time. That now that position fell right, it doesn't mean we should not continue on that path. Igi Jishikeka add a grant writer here. Sani a very aggressive search for a grant writer. When ege source rani ego. When you have a course rani. Our abate cake I know. Ya data 1,000 and 25. So because they add their all my suggestion and
thank you, but because thank you, that's a very wonderful suggestion. Before we continue, before we get into talks about modalities, onwe any presentation I na here but just today ka ebidoro ya. Maybe ihe akọrọ ho no this patron here by invitation only. There are people that are already been identified. So it's not just Naga that throw open that the nature patron. We are even going to talk about a limited number of people. It is going to be something of prestige in a Igbo Bitolo Bigisina. And other Kulite Mambe. So the modalities all those things will be already been taken care of. As far as grant writing is concerned, the method is now, we are not going to overload any group, any particular section with assignments and issues. So if I divide here in area, I like it to find a place. We have so many other people and resources. I like somebody grant writing assignment. Now we're gonna attach here. Attach because when people don't maybe attach on something, you overlook certain things. Because we are going to do that. Yeah, that's it.
I have 4 people that are reasonable.
Maga, where's Maga?
Maga stepped out.
How are we about because we can be 1 o'clock. I would have liked us to meet the lunch schedule. Don't have any problem with them. Check on Maga. Then while Ugoji make it. After Ugoji, Dr. Chalon.
Because it's important that when we are taking decisions, let's not be ambiguous about what we are doing. So I would like, on behalf of Nze Konde, make a motion to adopt in principle.
Yes.
The suggestion from our elder brother, subject to
the
modalities and modifications. For instance, the term fellows is usually attached to scholarship, and which WIC can have. We can have fellows, but we may need to find other assignments to go with that title, fellows. So I move to adopt.
Even that didn't call for this motion, but this motion is important, and we're many support for this motion.
Yes.
Okay. So
Can you secondary support?
I'm looking at Sacrament. In principle, even with what we say, with this and not the hammer. I got with this thing because indicate by saying aye. And when it is okay, because yes. It will oppose the thing, as you would make a comment, but as I did the call for this motion.
What of order, Mr. Chair? Let's say him.
Yes.
What of order, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Dr. Goji made a motion, but you did not call for any motion.
Exactly, I said so too.
So
He modified it and said that he did.
we didn't give any other person or persons the room to have a counter motion or anything like that. Where do we go from there?
Well, look, if I may, gentlemen, because the robust rule book actually has no provision for anything called counter motion.
That's right.
Okay, when there is a motion on the floor, that motion is seconded. If it's duly seconded, it's discussed, then it's voted up or down. If it fails, then you go to counter motion.
For the council. I understand where you're coming from. I think you should also give opportunity for people who have other ideas. So that wasn't given to some of us.
I do understand that the motion probably was not discussed, but the chairman said, absent any further objection, I think that the motion is...
Can we roll the tape if you have the tape? If you don't say in the absence of...
Well, do you want to call for the second?
He can call for another session. We can have another motion.
No.
We have to start with the same.
Let me repeat what I said. What I said after Dr. Ugoji made his motion, I said even though I did not call for this motion, but this motion is very, very important because it's like the crux of what we are discussing here, and we see that in support for this motion. In other words, I am saying now that I accept this motion and I may have called it, even though I didn't call for it originally.
Move on, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. He did he had overwhelming acclamation and support for World Igbo Congress. And Amaram, I got from Dr. Choronaya. His comments, words of encouragement. And like I said, I don't think no one got here saying I track a World Igbo Congress move forward with finances. So Dr. Choronaya, please. This issue is over, but we are just discussing now. Yes, sir.
I'm happy about the proposal.
Okay. After this, we are done.
The objective is good. Anna that we have an organization called 501c3 organization, non-profit, qualified to ask for donations. Anytime you keep on trying to tax our people, we get rebuffed, we don't realize much. Sponsor, fellows, patrons. You make somebody a patron from Nigeria, no matter how filthy rich he is. Each time we go home, those rich people expect us to give them money. That's why in Nigeria, that money grows on trees in America. Ichie formed the committee before, we worked on this. Other organizations don't tax their membership. They hire a qualified fundraiser. And I've talked about this before. The fundraisers will write grants for us. And you keep in touch with them. The best and most important thing we have to do is to make a contract. There are lists of honorable raising funds for non-profit organizations. And I'm suggesting that we tap into that. Rather than make me a patron and expect me to come and give you money free of charge.
Thank you.
Make a person a sponsor and say, come, take money. I say, what is the need for me? Oh, you made me a patron so that I can give you money. Let us raise that money from people outside us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Are you making a motion?
No. Please. Doc made his comment. And Doc, Bikonu, I do not believe or think that the level of organization of World Igbo Congress, the way I should show this organization in the future, I don't believe that our fundraising efforts are they just one-sided? Okay, they limit. There has to be so many angles to it. Because I also know, I don't grant writing, but I also know that some grants now they with some type of jackets and parameters for them. And the World Igbo Congress will be trading on dangerous territory. So just expect that our fundraising efforts will be limited to grant writing, or our raising the funds will be limited to grant writing. And in okay, the PRO they attach and to here attach and say no, I'm going to decouple instead. Because in the grant, and you know it. So don't worry. We are coming to no. I'm talking about leading the grant effort. You know, that is going to be a separate assignment. Yes, so I won't have a man attached in Oh yeah. So
grant writing. You mentioned the WIC River project.
No, you will be a part of
some other project. What I'm saying, when you have something out there, they tell people, no, not try to build a well or something for some people. You put it in the internet, you cost it, then you ask for money. Then also you write a grant proposal for funding of WIC River projects.
That's where you lead us. That's where you lead us. Yeah. That's where you will lead us. Because a time management issue. I will turn over to the Secretary General to some people that will get recognized.
Thank you.
Then after that, I may adjourn for lunch to meet the obligations and the contractual requirements the hosting affiliating when I would be doing. Once I get the lunch, during the lunch, again, two things I get when I lunch. As soon as you get your food, it will be a walking lunch. We'll have a presentation or statement from the Atlanta, and then after that, I'll write a keynote speech. So,
a little modification. Because we go through great pains to do scheduling of these events and time management. The keynote speaker is not going to speak during lunch.
Oh, okay.
That was definitely
okay.
the condition he extracted before he agreed to make his presentation.
Oh, okay then. I didn't know.
May I please? Because I wanted time constraints. On our day, very common. I've been meeting now, people will just sift away during lunch. We haven't even started the northern parts of Inhejiri. We are meeting now because I appeal to everybody. A richer lunch here, we'll limit it to at least 45 minutes to 1 hour. We come back here and do what we need to do. Because I want one nine Woko Batara here, who is a very, very important person. I got me one magaco where I have for this man. This is a man that is respected all over the world. Because High Chief Titus Oswabo. There we
onye patara Igbo awụma afọ Igbo ama beto na ama akwanye na onye apatara nga Igbo angata na kepe ya onye na kepe ya wo an actor King Joe all the best onye nke ya na asụpe na woman dia ya na ya wo Abacha from his name.
Connected by Valentine's.
Then the main person, and if you know the #1 Nigerian and African wrestling champion. I'll be applying US for training. Going to World Wrestling Champion. I am the ambassador for peace for Nigerian House of Representatives. For example, last Christmas, one year, Maka Anwo his USPR, when he asked me, yeah, Niger Delta, those boys,